Hi guys, this is Tony here from Metal Ruse. You're about to sit down and enjoy an interview I just did um, over there. And so do like and subscribe so you can get all this straight into your streaming and into your consciousness as soon as it arrives. So enjoy the interview, and I will. Over to you, Tony.
Oh, well, thanks for coming on, Carlos. Thank you
It's
for.
my pleasure.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'd talk about your new live album that's coming out.
Yes,
Wow.
indeed.
Yeah, 20. It's on the comes out on the. I wrote it down here. The 5th of December.
That's right. In December is around the corner.
It doesn't. It's only like, yeah, it's only around the corner. Don't say that. It seems too close.
Yes, definitely.
And so it's is it your first live album?
Definitely, yes. We wasn't on the plan to make a live album at all, but this opportunity happened in the whole thing with orchestra, so we
Hmm.
just can't say no, and we went for that.
Yeah, because I was looking at it because it's been 10. It's like with the National Orchestra of Andorra. Yes.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
Yeah, brilliant. And
You
it's a
know,
yeah, Karen.
Andorra is super small. Yeah, I'm sorry. Andorra is super small. So it looks like, I mean, it's big for us, but the whole country is like 80,000 people in total. So you can do this kind of things here with a metal band, and maybe it's impossible in, I don't know, in your country, but here is something that you can have access to. So we just get advantage of that.
I loved it because I've spoken to I think I've spoken to someone else in the band before about the your tour when you came over recently.
Yes,
And did you enjoy the tour?
a lot. That was beautiful. Definitely, yes. I mean, the whole package. Bands, people, crowds, venues, food. I don't know. It
Brilliant.
was a beautiful thing. We hope we can come back at some point. But
I
yes,
hope so. I hope so because it was a great show. The reason I said it is because you have a sound that doesn't sound like it's from a small country of 80,000 people. You know?
yeah, I think I understand what you say. We definitely try to make the band an international thing. Trying to be up into the list, at least in terms of the quality of the product. Trying to get there. And definitely coming from this kind of a small country has its challenges because you don't have much musicians, studios, places to play, no venues at all. So it's quite a unique way to, create a band. I think it's part of the history now, and we are grateful, but definitely it's been something else.
Yeah. I mean, I love it because the influences are clearly there. When I spoke to you guys before, we were talking about how being so close to all different borders, you're going and getting influences from so many different parts of Europe that it melds in with your sound slightly, doesn't it? You're still traditionally Andorran, but you have that sort of Euro sound in there as well.
Definitely, yes. It's a
Mm.
blend of many, many, many things, and we just put it together here up in the mountains.
Yeah, yeah, it's lovely up there. I'm sure it's beautiful up there. You because it's your first. That was your first shows back in Andorra for 10 years. I read. Am I reading that correctly?
Yes,
Wow.
that's true. Yes, it's crazy because it's because of the, nature of the country when it comes to venues and everything. Here, we have venues, but they are like quite big, and we are probably the most international act in the country nowadays, but we cannot fill up like a 2,000, cap
Yeah.
venue, playing death metal in a country that has no, scene at all. So it's a quite strange thing. We just wanted to wait until the perfect opportunity happened, and that happened with this show. And you have to understand that when we played this show in with the orchestra in the National Hall, like 80% of the public was just friends and family, and I don't know, the president of the country and people that don't really listen to this music often. it's just, like we were just celebrating, the fact that we have this band going on, and people just wanted to show support. And yeah, it was, I don't know, like pretty unique. You didn't have these people going crazy. Everyone was sitting down, and I could see my mom, with that
Oh,
face, like the
oh,
awkward girl meme, like, okay, I kind of don't like it, but I like it because it's my son.
it's my son.
Yeah,
I like it.
I did this,
Oh,
and and yeah, definitely,
fantastic.
yeah, that was the whole thing.
I think it's brilliant that you
Yeah.
can make this album because I listened to it just recently, and you know it's across a few of your albums. Across it's tracks there across your history of 20 years, and
Yes.
I was expecting it to be. Sometimes with orchestral band, when they do use an orchestra, it can overblow. It can become really pompous and very,
Yes.
very, I don't know, just it loses its way. It doesn't feel that way here because it feels like the band is the orchestra is blending well. It's a part of it,
I
not a
mean, we had
piece of it. Yeah.
Yes, we had the chance to work with the director Albert Gumi, which is a superb musician. And in the first meeting, we were like, "What do you want me to do?" And we were like, "Do whatever you want." So he, of course, we have orchestral parts in the music, so they just played them. But he went, a little bit further and started making arrangements to fit the music. And that's why I think like the arrangement is kind of blend with everything. It's not just like the pompous, all the
Yes.
strings together,
Yeah. And that's what,
thing going on.
because I was thinking, how are you going to move? Because I was thinking, how do you blend your form of music, which is orchestral anyway? It has beautiful passages in amongst the brutality. How are you going to do it without it sounding disparate? But it
I
doesn't.
think
Flute flows.
Yes, I think it is because the nature of the music we play is quite, let's say, complex. So there's not
Mm.
much room to make anything. The moment you get comfortable with an epic place, you have to change. So no, no way you can go super pompous because you don't have the time actually.
Yeah.
But everything felt natural. I mean, we used to, trust people that is really good at their thing. We don't like to be, on top of people that are super professional. So we just went there, said the director, do whatever you want when it comes to, your own arrangements. Then we just, of course, we listen to it with him, and we just set things up a little bit. And then same thing with the mix. We had David Castillo mixing the thing, which he's like one of the best guys to mix music. So
Mm.
do whatever you want. We don't like to, put our point of view because we're just musicians. We are not good at orchestration as good as Albert or mixing. So we just let people do their thing. And nowadays we feel like it's the best way to get the best out of everyone.
I think that's a wise move. Know your limitations and use the abilities of people around you to create for the better good. Sometimes musicians, I mean, I know that a lot of people want to just do everything themselves because they worry that it won't be how it comes out but at the end of the day, the reason they don't come out well is because they're not built for that. Like just
Yeah.
play the music, let the
That's
guys
it.
do their job on the desks. Yeah, that's the
Yes.
way.
Yeah, that's the way we do. I mean, of course, we have some directions, at the beginning, like we like this, we don't like that.
Mm.
But we're always, willing to listen because, as you say, we have limitations, like many of them. And if you talk with my wife, she will tell you like more of, many, many of them. So we just try to do the best we can. If you are surrounded by professional people and the attitude is good, usually people is put the effort and they make the project for themselves as well, so they feel part of it, not just an external.
Yeah.
I remember the first thing we did when we met the guys of the orchestra. They were rehearsing in the national hall, and then we had this prepared, like I went with them and the whole band, and we did this little speech for them, like, we are super grateful you're here. We really want you to feel. I'm sorry for this noise. I hope
No, no,
it
I
doesn't
can't
come
hear
up.
it. You're all right.
Okay, okay. So we said that we're super grateful about the fact that you're here. This is as yours as is for us, and just feel part of the band for one night. This kind of thing that brings people together, not just going
Yeah.
there and put lines, on the sand, and that's something we do all the time because we really think that synergies with people work better than your limited point of view. So
Look,
I
I
think
agree.
that's
Yeah, I agree completely. Open up your avenues. You get so much more from it. And being your first live album, it's quite a brave one. A lot of people's first live albums, genuinely are something, live at the Budokan or wherever they're going to be playing, right? Um, the fact that you're playing, with an orchestra is something fantastic. Like that. It's brave because that's the first person they may have ever heard you live, and then
yeah.
the first to hear the live album is like, this is amazing. This is so
Yeah,
different to
because
how
I
I
mean, this
expect.
just happened.
Yeah.
This just happened. I mean, I could tell you that yes, we are very brave, but we don't know what we were doing. We were, here in Andorra, we have connection with the Minister of Culture, and all the majors and
Mm.
everything, because we are like touring and everything, and we just like to sit down with them sometimes and explain all the challenges we are going through and explain challenges for musicians in the country, and we just
Oh,
adopted
brilliant.
that role to try to help. Yeah, it's good because they are open to listen, and like nowadays there's like a meeting and the drummer is right there right now, just listening to the options they want to do, and then trying to put, a little bit of point of view of a band that we are doing things outside of the country. So we were in one of those, and then you were talking about, I don't know, just how make, young people to get into the culture and everything.
Mm.
And then the guys from the orchestra were there, like listening. And at the end of the meeting, it was like off topic. What do you feel about playing a show in the National Hall with the orchestra, like random? And we were like, we look at
Wow.
each other, like in the moment, we're like, for sure, it's my dream. I mean, we didn't know it was the dream, but it was the dream now. So we just say yes, because it's just a lifetime opportunity. And then after the meeting, we were like, okay, let's do this. And then we said, okay, let's record the whole thing because it's once in a lifetime, and we need to put everything in there. And then we were like, let's make it a release. Let's make it. Uh, it's just for us. It's just a product which is an Andorran band in the National Andorran Hall with the Andorra National Orchestra, and everyone involved, but David Castillo, which is from Sweden, is just friend of us, recording,
Yeah.
editing, and the public. And it was like a thing to show the world that it's a small country, but this is going on here, and people is supporting it. And just we just wanted to celebrate that opportunity. But maybe it wasn't the smarter way to start playing live shows because now I think
It's a
I
lot of
lost even
There's a
more
lot of stress.
a lot of stress, like the most stressful show in my life. But now it's done, and when I listen to it and I show, like for example, uh, the show will be broadcast in the cinema in the here
Oh,
in Andorra.
wonderful. Oh, brilliant.
Yes, it's so now we're doing a trailer for it because people just want to be there and support, and we will have this one one day, and but the weeks before we will go to the cinema and see the trailer with the other movies. It's something I love.
Oh,
These kind of things are crazy good, and yeah, it's a very special thing for us.
do you know what? I have to say, that's a beautiful thing that a country like I think that's one of the benefits of a smaller country in that respect is that clearly there's music in your very DNA as a nation because they would not be entertaining this if they didn't have that in them, and the fact that they say, "Hey, come on, let's do this, let's do that," you're very lucky. I mean,
Yes.
I know it's a small country. I'll be honest with you, the first time I heard Andorra is when England played them in the football. Like,
Yeah.
genuinely, I didn't know it had a music scene because why would I? And then um, Persephone comes around, and you go, "This is it does it. It's punches well above its weight, if you know what I mean." And
Yeah.
it's surprising me that you're not on the bigger bills, like on the bigger tours.
I don't know. I mean, that's another thing, but definitely we're lucky. This situation, it's been a very organic one because we have been around for a long time.
Mm,
and we have built relationships with the country, not just the country as government, but with the country. People
mm.
already know us because sometimes you are in the newspaper, on the in television, and then everyone kind of knows you, and you try to behave in front of everyone because we understood that we are a metal band, which is something that people usually don't really are into, like older
Mm.
people and everything. But since everyone was interested because of the touring thing, you're telling that you are going places. Um, and then they
Oh,
start knowing you in person, and it's
yeah.
that connection because people start to see that, oh, these guys, I know them, and I'm happy that I know them. They don't care about the music you do, but it's like they're super happy. That I always tell this story in the grocery store. I was like, buying bread and shit, and then this old woman at the end of the interaction,
Yeah.
she's like, "Are you this guy from this band that plays in everywhere?" Yes, I am. And she was like, "Your music is not very good, but I'm super happy that you're doing this and super proud of you." That's actually, that wraps the whole thing.
It
People
is, that's a
just want
good,
to support.
that is a good snapshot of the whole thing, right? But I mean,
Yes, yes,
uh,
it is.
it is. I mean, I have to say that choosing the tracks would have been difficult, the set list, because you're going off the 20 years, um, and so much diversity. Your albums are changing so rapidly between album to album. You don't stay the same in any single album. So, um, picking that would have been, I think, would have been a nightmare. I don't know. It would have, yeah. I don't know where you'd start with a band like yourselves.
It
Yeah.
was it was not as difficult because we used to look at things in a really analytic way. So, for example, there were some songs that were just orchestral, like for example, "Leap of Faith," that
Yes.
we never played that song live because we had to play only samples for that, and it doesn't really sound good. But that one, outro in "Spiritual Migration," which is just piano and the orchestra kind of
Yeah.
Joe Hisaishi's way, those were like no-brainers. Like we have the chance to listen to this live once and see my brother Mo with the piano, like a tall
Oh,
piano, and the thing
yeah.
got me like with the family there. I was almost in tears because we lived together when we wrote that song. For me, it was something beautiful. So those songs were no-brainers. Then of course we had like all the songs that people are willing to listen because they are on the videos and everything, like "Living Waves" or
Yeah.
"Minus Universe" or all those, and then we had just to do them. And then after those, we started like choosing like the difficult ones, which were like, I don't know, let's make something from Shinken or something a little bit more
Oh,
obscure.
yes.
But it was kind of natural.
Yeah. I thought it was a great mix. Like I wrote them down. One of my favorites on there was Prison Skin.
Okay,
Yeah, because I thought it was. I think it. I wrote it in red letters, so I asked me. Well, I always write in red if I like it. It must mean. I don't know. Does it sound? It sounds a little bit different to its original recording. Did you tweak
Mhm.
it even more so for this?
But I mean, we toured that song for a long time. Just start just playing it differently. Sometimes I listen to the originals. I don't do this anymore. I don't know why. These little nuances.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know why, but it's a natural thing. Like Bobby plays things differently. Like the whole thing's there, but it's like mutating into something else. And then we listen to it now. It's like, okay, it's the same thing, but it's actually a little bit different. And then the orchestra makes another dimension. So
yeah.
yes, it would took a little bit, but
I loved it because
we wouldn't
it
know
didn't.
how.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it didn't fit. You know, because I know that song, so and that piece of music. So when I got to it and it came up because it's one of my favorites, it's like, oh, hey,
Nice.
how is this going to be different? But because you always get a bit of anticipation. But it didn't. I didn't feel incongruous or like you just mangled it. It feels perfectly in sync with the other one. You know, the original.
Yeah, I think. And also the arrangement for the orchestra, it was everything like quite organic. Like again, we have this guy, the director Albert Gumi, and
Mm.
he just did like arrangements for the music to try to. Of course, whenever we had the orchestra going on in the album, they are just playing it, and it sounded beautiful. But the new stuff he came up with, was like really natural as well. It was only two different. I think in Great Reality, he tried something at the beginning, kind of crazy. And at the beginning, we're like, "What's this?" Like the Aaron, like, I don't really understand this. And then for a moment, we're like, this maybe is too much. And he was a little bit like, "No, no, no, it's a pretty good resume." Well, for sure, it's a beautiful thing. Go for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, other than that, yeah, because I know whatever. Some people in the band were like, "No, I don't want this to be so different." But I was like, "Man, let people work. I mean, whatever.
No, no,
People
and
will
it
like it. People
works.
don't."
But it works. It blends
Yeah, I
beautifully.
think
I mean, and for as I said before earlier, it's for a first live album. This is a really good first because I don't know about you, but in my generation, I found bands by live albums. I often I
yes,
would go for the live album first because if they could play live, even though sometimes they're tweaked, if they could play live first, like Thin Lizzy and things like, I would always went to their first live albums, and then I'd go to their
yeah,
catalog because it felt
yeah, yeah,
okay, they can do it. They're not faking. This is a live album. This is great.
yes.
And so I think for this to be your first live album is going to bring in so many new listeners because they're just going to be, I think, blown away by it.
Hopefully, yes. I
Mm,
we don't know, and we know it's like not a people is waiting for the next album. We understand that, but it was in the way because it was a thing we were
mm.
expecting, but we just went for it. We don't know what to expect about people liking it or not, but for some reason, it was something we wanted to do for us and people that are actually following the band. Like there you have it. It's a beautiful moment for us in our careers, and we want to share with everyone from Andorra to the world. That was the actual thing, and we're just enjoying the fact that we were able to do it because it was very stressful. You can imagine, like playing
Yeah.
here. It's way worse to play in front of people you actually care than in front of people that you don't know.
I know
And
exactly. That's why I can't have any in the room. My wife listen to my interviews because I'm like, no, 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 no. Don't
it's
do.
horrible. I
It's
mean,
horrible.
it was. I mean, it's beautiful, but because they will like everything you do because they love you. But you
Yeah,
just, it's like you want to do like something even better that you can actually do.
yeah.
It's very difficult.
I think it's a look. We're going to finish up in a minute, but I think it's a love song to your nation and to your people, and I think it's lovely that you've done that, and that they can all be proud. All 80,000 plus can be proud of this album. Yeah.
We hope. I mean, the story of the band, it's been something that is part of my life now, and I like to think that it will be part of this country's history, like music-wise. And I always say that we will understand how this band had an impact in the country whenever we are gone. And yeah, I really hope that this opens, and pave the road for younger artists and people understands that there can be music from this country that is high quality, and that's what we're trying, just to represent this country the best we can in the major leagues that we can access, and
Mm.
by behaving and trying to be professional and trying to have a quality output and be honest. And whenever we're gone, like the next band that comes out from here, people will say that, I mean, we know Persephone, and yeah, it's not like unknown anymore. That's what we want to do with these kind of things.
Yeah, okay, it's a beautiful, beautiful sentiment. I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes when it comes out in December. Hopefully to see you over here again. It was a brilliant tour last time you were here, and
Hopefully.
now you've been once. Hopefully we've broken the dam and you'll come again. And yeah, thanks for the chat. It's a great album. It's yeah, beautiful. Really, really,
Thank you
really,
very much.
yeah. There's a great snapshot of who you are, and I think that's. Great people making great music. That's what all I can
Thank
say.
you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you very much. I just want to say before I go that
yeah,
we as a band really appreciate the fact that people like you is taking the time to because there are many 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 beautiful music going out every second, and the fact that someone this far away is taking the time to listen to it and have some work with me is something that we would really appreciate. So thank you for having us, and I hope
pleasure.
to see you somewhere in the planet, in person at some point,
Yes,
and continue this beautiful chat. Okay.
yes, wonderful. You keep safe. Have a great Christmas, okay? And
Okay, same thing likewise.
peace to your family. And Bye for now.
Take
Bye.
care. Goodbye for now.
Bye.
Bye bye.